Gosh, the conference is being recorded already, and I didn't even hit that button. It's like things are working on remote control here. So listen, let's take one last round of introductions before we mute the call and start the webinar today. If you haven't had a chance to say hello, please do so now.
This is
Hi, it's Peter Gonzalez from Simi Valley, California.
All right.
Stone from Chicago.
Kathy from Pennsylvania.
Welcome.
Mike DeWall, Seattle, Washington.
Okay, welcome.
Wayne from South Dakota.
Okay, welcome.
Joy from West Virginia.
All right, welcome. Welcome to the call.
Ian from Virginia.
Okay, we got people from all over.
You got Ken from Red Deer, Canada.
Okay, welcome everybody. All right, welcome. We got a lot of people coming in late, so we're going to keep taking some introductions for a little while longer here. Lots of people just joining the webinar right now. So my name is Art Manville. Joining me today is my wife, Terry. We've been in Zango almost 7 years. Gosh, we're about 2 weeks away from our 7th-year anniversary. So we're going to be starting here shortly. If you're just joining us now, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and where in the world you're calling in from.
Gary from Flint, Michigan.
Adrian from California. Olivia from California.
Okay, welcome.
Richard Morgan from the UK.
Okay, welcome.
Sandra from Canada.
All right.
Pam Hubble from Wisconsin.
Okay, well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. We have so many people just coming on the webinar. I can see them all joining right now that I'm kind of holding things up a little bit. Lots of late folks. Just one last round of introductions. If you've not had a chance to say hello, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and where in the world you're calling in from.
Hi,
Carol from Arizona.
Cheryl from Kentucky.
Okay, welcome.
Muted.
Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Make sure you have a pen and paper handy here. We've just got the thing lined up here. Hold on a second. It's always a bit tricky here to launch these things on a Mac, so I think we're good to go.
First slide.
Oh, yes, dear. Okay, show my screen. There we go. So I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar. Very excited to be here with you today. Yes, it's been almost 7 years since we've been in Zango, and so we have decided to do kind of a summer wisdom series, you know, to recapture all of the things that we've learned over the last number of years, you know, and to bring everything up to date and record this and archive it, just kind of as a 7th anniversary present, I guess, to you. And so that's a fairly recent picture of Terry and I in Hawaii at the Zango Elevation Retreat. I can tell you our life has definitely changed a lot since we got involved in this company, and all of the travel and the fun things that we've done and the people that we've met, and of course it doesn't hurt paying off all of those credit card bills and getting out of debt and stuff. So how did it all happen? Oh, you got a new little thing happening here. Okay. Okay.
It's got to make some changes.
We got a new little thing here happening. That's me actually working. And this is what we look like when we're working here in our backyard. You can see that I don't dress up much. I'm in my famous slippers. And so, what if I change my mind? I saw this on the other day on the computer, on actually Google. What if I change my mind? You know, everything happens from the mind, don't you think? It's all an inside game. What I call the inside to outside game. You've got to have the inner world working if you want the outer dreams to be created. And so this is all about the inner world. And to me, and I've said this before on conference calls, everything in life starts with a dream. And in fact, if you were to look around your room right now, I don't care where you are, in your apartment, in your house, look around the room right now, everything here was someone's dream. The building was someone's dream. It became your dream when you walked in and decided to rent it or buy it. The furniture is your dream. You dreamed this into being. You decided to pick it up. But it was somebody else's dream before that, wasn't it? The manufacturer of my desk here. You know, obviously he had a dream of a business, and he found somebody that could dream up really good cabinetry. This is a pretty nice desk, made in China likely. So everything in life has to start with a dream, right? And so your reality comes from dreams. And if you want something to change, you're going to have to change it from the inside out. So I had a dream, and some of you have heard my dream before, but in 2001, this was our primary method of transportation just before 2001. This is my old truck, and yes, that's called Betsy, in case you didn't know her name. And that was our primary method of transportation during the 90s. And we paid $600 for her and put on over 100,000 miles. And that's pretty much what she looked like when we bought her, okay? She didn't get that way. She was like that. That's why she was so cheap. And this is a recent picture of me last year. I dressed up in the old clothes I used to wear when I drove that truck just before we towed it away to plant a nice big organic garden. And my dream was I wanted to know what it would be like to not have to worry about money every single day of my life. I wanted to know what that would be like. You know, I realized that I was always thinking about it. I was always worried about it. And I got to a point, and both Terry and I got to really a low point in our life in 2001 when I just got fed up. I was sick and tired of being so broke that I made up my mind that I was going to do something about it. And this kind of willful determination came over me that I was going to make a change in this. I'd had it, and I wanted to change. And Terry, you had a dream, right? Your dream was different than my dream when we started Zango.
Well, I did have a dream, you know. I wanted a car. I hadn't had a car for 22 years, you guys. I mean, Art had another little car after the truck died, but it was a standard stick shift, and that was really not something I enjoyed driving. And so, I wanted that, and I wanted to go to Phuket, Thailand. As you can see, that's my computer. But my dream was to go to Phuket, Thailand with Zango and to become a premier. And so dreams are what fuel your passion. I mean, I was very passionate about those two dreams because that was what I wanted to experience. And so everything does start with a dream. As you can see, that's my little desk, and that was where I would sit and do my Zango business. So all dreams should feel your passion. You should be able to feel your passion and know what you want, whether it's a rose garden or a car or whether it's a woodshed or whatever dream you have. It's very important that you're passionate about it. And then this one here, come on, baby, light my fire. I mean, this is so important, isn't it, Art?
Yeah, I mean, I love this one here. I was looking for something about fire, and you know that song, Come On, Baby, Light My Fire by The Doors. But really, and I love this picture because really the love is on fire here, isn't it? Love is on fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. So your dreams are what is going to provide your passion to get what it is that you want, a change in your life. You have to want something different from what you have already. And so Terry got her dream, right? This is her car, and this was exactly the picture, the car, the color, and everything that she got, right? Somebody is on the moderator line. I don't know. We're getting a little bit of an echo here. But go ahead, Terry.
So what was interesting about my car, is I could have bought anything I wanted at that point when we went and paid cash for a car. But this particular car, the little RAV4, was my dream. This is what I wanted. I knew it was really good on gas. That's when gas is really high. And I knew I wanted to carry plants and flowers and trees in it. And you see, you guys, that goes back to passion again. I have a lot of passion for my flowers and my plants and my garden. And so I wanted something that I could carry them in that was convenient. And so all of those passions really worked well together. That was why I got that car.
Yeah, now this is a list, actually. So your dreams aren't all big dreams. You should have small dreams. And we've been making lists of what you could call dreams or just things that we want, really good to write down the things that you want. And we discovered this a couple of years ago, this old piece of paper that Terry had created years prior. It was in the bottom of one of her drawers, and we pulled it out. And as we read through this list of things, you can see when it was created. This was right around the low point of our financial life, that 2001. That's the time when I really made up my mind to change something. And we'd made a list of things, and you could see how humble we were at the time. that we would have to write on a list if we wanted new rock on the road. We didn't even have gravel on the road here. It was so, we had big, huge stones. It was like you would destroy your car coming down our driveway. She wanted a lilac tree. She wanted arbor. She wanted to add to the deck. She wanted a bird feeder. She wrote all of these things down. And later on, years later, we looked at them, and they had all materialized. We had received all of those dreams, if you will. Now, as you notice at the bottom here, was called a new woodshed. And so I had we heat with wood here. We still heat with wood here primarily. And you know, in Washington, we got access to wood, and I love burning wood to fuel. It just, I don't know, the energy from wood and the heat that comes from a wood fireplace is completely different than anything else. So here's how I was taking care of my wood. I had tarps, you know, and they would get moldy because it didn't breathe properly. And I had a dream of a woodshed that you'll see there. And here we are. Whoops, this thing is acting funny. I don't know what this guy is. He's a new guy that just appeared. There we go. There's the woodshed, right? Your dream fulfilled 2005. Now, you'll notice that there's another thing on here, new rock garden, right? So be careful what you ask for. You might get things that are bigger than you thought. Does this look like part of a rock garden? These are some granite boulders that we had delivered, because out of that dream for that little rock garden came this. Does this look like a rock garden to you? You know, that's a Japanese garden that we built on one side of the house, and then you've seen this picture similar to this before with our waterfall on the other side. So dreams written down, and sign them and date them and put your name on them, help them come into your world. So who has a dream out there? You see the little question thing that is on your control panel there? Why don't people start telling me what your dreams are? Does anyone have any dreams out there? You can hit the question thing and type in your dreams. You know, maybe there's somebody out there that would like nothing better than to stay at home with their kids, right? I mean, that could be your dream, to stay at home with your kids. Maybe there's people that would like to fire their boss, or people that would like nothing better than to be have their own business where they don't have to listen to somebody else. So if you have a dream, you've got to be able to write them down. Somebody would like to take their family to Germany several months a year because that's where her wife is from. Isn't that a wonderful dream? You know, I'd like to take my family on a big vacation. Oh, we've got some good vacation dreams here. She'd like to fire her husband's boss. That's cool. Yeah, she wants. I know you do, Lisa. You want to fire your husband's boss. Yeah, you'd like your husband to be at home, and that's one of your dreams that passes. Mary Lou would like to be at home full time with her kids. These are dreams, guys, and don't you feel how powerful they are? Somebody wants a dream home. Somebody else wants to be free from that job and to have a 35-foot sailboat. I like that dream, yeah. Why 35 feet, Jack? Could be 42, could be 47 foot. You know what I'm saying? Repay my parents for helping me through a divorce. Isn't that wonderful? To repay, to give back to their parents who gave to them. To ease the pressure on my husband and relieve the debt so they can inherit the family design business and get a fresh start. Quit my job is another dream. Yearly family vacation. Bring Glenn home in Nova Scotia. Yeah, Trish, I know that dream. To provide education for 6 grandchildren with tragic lives. Wow. To help your grandchildren. 6 of them. Holy smokes. Let my husband retire and travel the world. Somebody's got no sound. Well, I can't. If you have no sound, I can't tell you how to get it. Go to Thailand. How to go, Steve Jones. Yes. Get out of credit card and auto loan debt. Oh, I love all these dreams. The new van, you know. I'd like to have 10 more people in his group. Okay. So lots of dreams out there, Terry. Isn't it exciting?
These are amazing, but you guys, you can see how powerful these are, because as Art reads them, you can feel the passion in these people. Some of these people are in our downline, and we know their dreams. We've talked to them. We've seen them and seen the tears in their eyes of them wanting to be a stay-at-home mom or wanting their husband to be at home. I mean, you guys, this is very powerful. So Art's going to teach you how to do this.
Well, one thing we got to say is that your dreams are safe with Zango. This is a company you can trust. You know, Joe Morton said that a number of years ago. But in this day and age, in this economy, you don't want to be building your dreams on sand. You want to be building it on a solid Foundation. And this is a company that isn't going anywhere. You know, there's incredible founders that really have such vision and integrity, and they have caring hearts. You know, they have this global vision. You know, I mean, whoa, there they are again. We got them in here twice. And the company, the beautiful campus here, $2 billion in sales. So we can trust this company. But guys, dreams without action are like hallucinations, and that's from a book called Becoming a Category of One. You've got to put action behind your dreams, and we're not going to focus a lot on the actions today, okay? We're going to focus on the actions another time in a future webinar. But today it's all about what I call the inner game, creating your business from the inside out. So you've got to move forward in the direction of your dreams, right? Once you have that dream established, you've got to take the step towards it, and that step could be small step. You have a dream of a 37-foot sailboat. You've got to move towards that dream by taking the next step. Maybe it's calling that person that you haven't called yet. Maybe it's doing that follow-up call. Maybe it's going to an Exco Pro event this summer. But when you do move forward in the direction of your dreams, the universe will go out of its way to support your focused intention. When you move forward, it's like the energy moves with you. So what is holding you back? You know, Terry and I have been studying consciousness and energy for over 20 years. What is it that makes up our world? How can we begin to influence our reality and get what it is that we want? And I believe that there's some things that hold us back from that. What blocks your dreams? Well, let's talk about some of those things. You know, we have programs that run in our mind. These are habitual ways of thinking that we are completely unaware of. And it's not that much different than a computer. This is my old desktop that I took a couple of years ago. And I realized that there's these certain programs that running, habitual ways of thinking. And it's not unlike what our computer is. If our brain and our minds were like the hardware, then the programs are like the software. And this is my computer here, and you can see, if you look down here, all of these programs that are listed as running. Well, the thing is, I'm not doing anything with the computer. It's sitting there, and I'm not even aware that behind the scenes, even though I'm not even using it, that all these programs are running. And in fact, here's a list of all the programs that are running that I'm unaware of. Your mind is like that. You have certain programs that are running that you're not aware of. It's like that proverbial refrigerator running in the background. What you can do, what you can't do. And so we've got to become aware of these programs and see these programs when they start to run. And so I have a story that I think will help show you and illustrate to you. Some of you may have heard this before about how these programs get started and how beliefs are created in your mind. But this is a picture of Terry and her dad, Roy. Now, Roy was like a father to me, really. My dad was so much older than I was that he didn't really want to do the kinds of things that I wanted to do as a teenager. You know, when I was conceived, my dad was already 51, which means he was in his mid-60s when I was 14, 15, and upper 60s when I met Terry at about the age of, I think, 17. Or so 1968. How old was I, dear?
I was 16.
You were 16.
So
we met in high school. And I quickly sort of fell in love with Roy. We did all kinds of things together. We went to the horse races. We raced snowmobiles. We played and did things that fathers and sons would do. So we became very, very close. But Roy had a lot of fear in his life. And he wanted to do things, and he was always afraid to do them. One of the things he wanted to do is come visit us. You know, he'd never been to our house here. And he was afraid to get on a plane. But after his wife passed, you know, he finally decided to get up the courage and realize, I guess, inside that this would be his last chance, and he came down to visit us. So he was visiting here, and we had a great time. We sat out on the deck, and we played cards. You know, the great thing about that home business, you know, somebody comes to visit, you can just take all the time off that you want, right? And so I remember sitting out on the back deck one day, and he taught me something by accident, really, that was one of the most profound things that I ever learned. But as we were sitting on the back deck, we started talking, and we had this river back where he lives. It's called the Bow River. And he just out of the blue, he said, you know, I said, have you been doing any fishing lately? Because that's how this conversation started. He says, no. I says, get out on a boat. She said, oh, no, I'm not ever going on a boat again. And I says, why that? Why is that, Roy? Well, I was watching the news the other day, and this lady, she got on a canoe, she went out across the Bow River, and it capsized, and she died. She drowned on the river. So I'm not going to, gosh, that scared me. I'm not going to ever get in a boat again. I said, you don't even know this lady, Roy. And it was like you were watching this on TV. You didn't even witness this. And yet, from just watching that show, you've decided that you're never going to get in a boat again? And he says, yeah. I looked at him and I says, wow, one negative thought can change your whole life. One negative thought can change your whole life. His whole life had now changed from one negative thought that he decided was true to him, that became a belief automatically, was plugged into his mind, and he made a decision that because of that experience that wasn't even his own experience, it's not like he was in the boat and fell over. It was someone else's experience. Do you know that that is how the programs start in our minds? They start when we're kids. They're and it could be your parent saying, listen, you're stupid, or you're lazy, or it could start with that program that says what you can and can't do. I'm telling you, we have hundreds of these programs. These are just accepted thoughts and beliefs. So one negative thought can change your entire business. It could be as simple as somebody saying the juice doesn't work. One negative thought. If you believe that thought, suddenly the juice doesn't work and you're discouraged and you quit. It could be, I give up. You might have this business builder that you thought was going to be phenomenal and came in and joined and then never did anything or got discouraged and quit. One negative thought destroyed your Zango business if you accepted that thought.
You guys, this is so powerful. You have no idea how our thoughts control our whole life. And I think Art has done a great example here of showing you, and especially with our Zango business. You guys, we have to hold positive thoughts out there each and every day. That's how you will magnetize people to you to help you build your business.
So the question is, what programs do you guys have running? Are you aware of your programs? Do you know what they are? Do you know what your programs are? I'm going to launch a poll here, just to give you an idea of some of the programs that you might have running. Let's see if anybody has any of these programs running. There's a couple of ideas up there. There's lots of them. And this will be very, very revealing here to select some of these programs. Gosh, I had a few more here, but I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. And in fact, 40% is voted. Let's just let this. I had a couple more, but I don't know the right people is a big program, right? I don't know enough people is a program. What if you change that? What if you change that idea? That's just an idea. I'm not very good at networking. The product is too expensive. I don't have enough time. These are all programs. So I'm going to close this poll, and I'm going to share the results, because I'll tell you, this is the biggest problem that we have in network marketing right here, the number 2 one. 67% of the people think my business is not where it should be. You have a negative idea about your business because you have expectations of, you have the dream, and the dream is fine, but what happens when your dream does not manifest in the time frame that you want? You get discouraged, you get down on yourself, and your glass becomes half full instead of half empty. So it's a good idea to think about what your programs are. I can't do it is a program. My business is slow is a program. You can't find people in the summer. These are all programs, and we've got to become aware of them. So thoughts can become things. Choose them wisely. Thoughts also become beliefs. So why not pick beliefs that you want to? Just got to close the poll out there. There we go. Thoughts become beliefs. Why not choose beliefs that support your dream? So I wanted to, and I don't want to get into, I wanted to get into a little bit of science here, because I want to convince you of something here that is very, very important. I want to convince you that your thoughts really do affect the material world. Okay? There's a branch of science called quantum physics. And this is accepted science. And in this science, they have an experiment called the double slit experiment that is accepted science. And I'm not even going to try to explain this other than to tell you that science has now determined in this experiment that if someone is watching this experiment, the results will change. So, when light passes through the screen, if somebody is watching it, it is different and if there's no one watching it. Now, how do you like that? So the observer, the actual scientist that is observing the experience affects the outcome just by watching it with his mind, which means that scientists have proven that thoughts do affect the material world in a materialistic fashion. So that when you think about something, it does affect the world, whether you're aware of it or not. Now, we have a chiropractor. You may have seen him, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's one of the stars in What the Bleep, that movie all about our mind and how it really works. And I actually saw Joe the other day because he's a master of working on the brain and how we think. And he's written this book called Evolve Your Brain, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I was in to see him the other day, and I said, you know what, Joe? I've got a quote of yours that I'm going to put in our webinar on Saturday. That is one of my favorite quotes, and it's this one here. Just because you have a thought, it does not mean that it is true. Have you ever really thought about that? You see, so this is how you get control over your programs, because you recognize that just because you have a thought, it may not be true. And he says, well, I saw a bumper sticker the other day, and I found this bumper sticker. This is Dr. Joe. This is on Wednesday. I found a bumper sticker the other day that I thought was hilarious, and I found it. Don't believe everything you think. See, what we're talking about here is getting control over your mind, because if you need to think bigger if you want a bigger life. And I've seen people do this. Don't shrink your thinking to match your current reality, but expand your vision and your dreams, and your reality will surely follow. So think bigger and dream bigger, and you will expand your vision, and your dreams and reality will surely follow. Okay? Now, The Law of Compensation, and this is a book by John David Mann, Zango distributor. Highly recommend The Go-Giver, and also The Go-Giver Sells More. And it's about the kind of attitude that you take towards what it is that you do. And he says in here that your income is directly proportional to how many lives you touch. So let me ask you this question, and then I've got another story for you. Is your downline half empty, or is it half full? How do you see your business? Does your cup runneth over? Are you grateful for what you have? Let me give you an example of something here. This is the thing that sort of annoys me about how people see their business. Okay? I was talking to somebody this week. Hasn't worked their business in 2 years. Okay? Hasn't done anything at all in a couple of years, yet has a check coming in of several $100s a month. Not only gets free product, but double and triple that in free money coming in for basically doing nothing. Well, that's residual income. That's for past efforts. Now, you could look at that and say, gosh, I haven't done anything in a long period of time. I've lost a lot of my people. I've only got a check of $800 a month. Isn't that too bad? Or you could look at it and say, wow, it's incredible. What an incredible business this is. Maybe if I really respected and honored what I have already created, I would get the enthusiasm and energy to create more and be excited about your check rather than disappointed. Now, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Terry and I love plants, don't we, Terry?
Yeah, I sure do. We both do.
So here she is. This is my beautiful wife in our favorite garden center around here a couple of weeks ago. Okay? And I'm getting a little echo when she's in the same room with me. So I've sent her off into the living room there because it echoes off of her phone line, right? So we're in this garden center, and I think we're prisoners of our minds. guys, that there's so much chatter going on in our heads, so many thoughts going on and on, around and around in our minds, that we don't even notice what is going on around us. We don't even really participate in our life sometimes. We're just wrapped up in our heads. And even though I was in this garden center, was not in the care in the world, I was like that. I was thinking about something. And suddenly, I don't know what it was, something woke me up, and I stopped and I look around, and suddenly I saw this garden of earthly delights, all of these flowers. And I really was taking it all in. And I was looking around thinking, oh, I was walking through here, I was almost missing it. I mean, this is Mother Nature at her finest. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Look at these flowers. And I was just like in awe, right? Because I was really taking it in. And I went to Terry and I says, have a look around. Isn't this incredible, Terry? Remember when I did that?
I remember that, yes. It was amazing because Art could see it through a different set of eyes than I see it, because that I try to stay very focused when I am with the flowers. And so Art was, of course, thinking about his next webinar or something, and I was being one with the flowers for sure.
So anyway, I walked by, and here's this gal. She wouldn't let me take a picture of her, so I had to sneak this picture of her. But I walked past her. She's working. She's a worker there. And I was in this feeling of, wow, isn't this incredible? And I said to her, oh, it's so beautiful in here. And she looks at me and she says, you're kidding, right? The place is a mess.
What was really interesting is, you see, I could relate to that gal is because she saw all the work that needed to be done. She saw all the sweeping, she saw the dead leaves, she saw all the deadheading she had to do, she saw all the plants she had to move so that didn't look empty. So she saw all the work, and Art saw all the beauty. And so it was a very interesting conversation for the three of us that day.
Yeah, and I immediately said, this is a story that has to be told, because is your business half full or is it half empty? What is it that you see? Because I'll tell you a secret that what we've learned about the mind. Whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you put your attention on gets bigger. So if you have your focus and your attention on the glass that is half empty, I swear to you, by the laws of this universe and how things work, your glass will get more empty. And if you can see it as half full, your glass will get more full. Now, it's not an exact science. Energy is not like that. So I implore you to be grateful, first of all, for what you have. Be grateful for this company. With gratitude, give thanks that you found Zango, that you have this great company you can trust, that you have a way, you have a chance, you have a hope to create a different future for you and your family. Be grateful for that. That's part of having your glass half full, okay? And then realize that what you've got so far is because a lot of these inner programs that you've had running that are undermining your intention, and be determined to change them, first of all, by becoming aware of them, and then starting new programs based on your dreams. And we're going to show you how to do that in a second here. So, you've got your dreams. Do you know what they are? I want you to write them down. Okay, just take a minute just to let some of those ideas flow that you gave me a little while ago. Make a list of your dreams right now. Just start writing. I'm going to give you about a minute to write dreams down. And find some small ones, you know, some little things that you'd like to do around the house or in the backyard, you know, a bird feeder, whatever it is, you know, a new jacket. I don't care what it is, you know. And the big dreams and the small dreams. You write them down. You put them on a piece of paper. You should always put your name on the paper, even sign it on the side there, because it kind of cements it as this is something that you've decided that you want.
And make sure you date it. Dating it is very important as well, so that you can look back and you can say, wow, I remember when I wanted that. And you can acknowledge that, wow, I got that dream came true. It's very important to acknowledge your dreams, even the little ones, you guys. I'll never forget when we got rock on the road. I mean, gravel, you can't imagine what it was like driving on this bumpy road. And the first time the gravel guy came in, it was spread on there. I was like, wow, we finally got gravel on the road. That was exciting to me. I know it sounds maybe crazy to some of you people out that are in the city, but when you live in the country, gravel is very important for your road. So that was a great dream.
Yeah, and then it's a good idea to draw or create or find some sort of a picture that represents your dream. You know, they've talked about dream boards, right? But it could be a drawing or a picture. And this is remember Terry's old computer screen here. This is what it looked like.
You see, the reason I did that, you guys, is I was able to view that every time, every morning when I turned my computer on. Those two pictures were staring me in the face. So every day I thought about those two dreams. But every day I knew I needed to put action in to get those dreams.
Yeah, so create your day is the next topic here, because either you do something to create your day or you react to your day and let it create you. Now, how does this look like? And what am I really talking about there? It means that before you start to engage your day, you should do something to create it. Now, for some of you, that might be reading some scripture. That helps to create the day, or praying, right? But as part of that, you may do some meditation and some visioning on what it is that you want, what your dreams are. And this is when you can bring up that picture, and you can bring up that symbol, and you can bring up that dream that you have, or see yourself, you know, standing on that stage as a 20K in Orlando, and envision yourself. And we've talked about this in the past, right? But for me, it's not about anything specific. It's like a quiet, sacred time. What John Gottschalk has talked about, the power of the golden hour, the first hour of the morning and the last hour at night, is a time when you're sort of calm, you're still calm, you're not in the day, and you can put things into your subconscious, and you can connect better with the source, and you can create what it is that you want. Now, I'll tell you this. It's not like I'm looking for something specific to happen in my days, but I know that I spend about an hour every morning working on getting ready for that day, and I refuse to answer the phones. Our team knows they cannot get a hold of me before 9 o'clock. Somebody wanted to do a three-way call at 7 o'clock with some guy in Malaysia, and I said, no, I just don't do that. I will not talk on the phone until I'm ready to engage my day. And so find some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't care how long it is, but before you even get out of bed in the morning, visualize what it is that you're looking to do with your life. You know, what is it that you're wanting to create? What was that dream? You've got to keep that passion rolling. You can't forget. There's going to be things that are going to happen that are going to discourage you.
Even people that go out and do walking, you know, walking is a great time because you're walking usually in nature. And it's a great time to do your visualization or to think about the dreams that you have, or go through the list of dreams that you've got on your dream board. That's a great time to do it.
Yeah, so here's another quote that I think I made up, but energy follows thought when held in focus by sustained attention. Energy follows thought. So you have the thought, energy will follow the thought, but it has a lot to do with focus, right? You've got to be able to focus on what it is that you really want and keep your attention on it. We're so scattered, you know, and so your dream, if you just think about it for a second, is not enough. You've got to really contemplate it and think it. Oh, so where do you want your energy to flow? To the problem or to the solution? You know, this is kind of like what I was talking about with, is the glass half empty or half full? So focus on what it is that you want. And then you've got to hold your focus. And remember the power of the magnifying glass, right? It's just a simple glass, but when held correctly and with the right kind of material below it, you can start a fire with this simple glass. This little boy here working with his magnifying glass. That's how powerful your focus is. And if we look back on our career in Zango, a lot of it had to do with the power of focus. We had the dreams. We had the passion because of our two dreams that we wanted. I wanted to know what it'd be like to not have to worry about money anymore. And I also wanted to get rid of all of this debt that I felt like was an albatross that I was worried about, that was hanging over my head. We were maxed out on credit cards when we got into Zango. You know, we had so many credit card bills, I didn't even want to know what the total was. We thought about refinancing our house. We couldn't get enough money to pay them off, so I said, what's the point, right? But I had that willful determination to change it. And Terry, once we got involved in Zango, she found a dream that she didn't even have before because she didn't see any way that she could get a new car. But when Zango came along, now I see the chance of actually having a dream. Suddenly sprung out of that were two dreams she didn't even know she had, a trip to Thailand and a new car for myself. You know, instead of that 1992 Nissan Maxima 5-speed. She didn't even like 5 speeds. That was the only family car that we had until the engine went out of it, right? And it was time to get a new car. She was the one that had been dreaming about a car, not me. So she got a car, and then I was without a car for a couple of years before I could figure out what it was. So you've got to have the dreams. That will be your passion, but then you've got to keep your focus on those dreams, because you've got to keep your focus on your dreams that will help you create. These dreams actually help create new programs to override the ones that are holding you back.
You know, when you're focusing on your dreams, I know it's summertime, and I know it's a great time because everybody's so busy. We're busy going to weddings, we're busy going to barbecues, we're busy going to graduations, we're busy going on trips, we're busy going camping. All of these things we're busy with, right? And summer is supposed to be like that. We're extra busy because we can get outside, but guess what, you guys? You have to make time for your Zango business. In other words, all these busy places that you're going to, you're seeing lots of new people. Why would you not share your dream with them and share the products or the business with them? Somebody has just lost their job. Why would you not open up this door of opportunity for that person? It's a form of giving back to people. It's a form of helping people. Look at the power that we have in these products. I mean, you guys, we're changing people's lives, not only with the products, but with the business. We're helping people, whether it's $500 or $1,000 a month paying for a car payment or paying for their house payment that they can keep, that they're not being foreclosed on. So as you go to all these busy things, make time for your Zango and know that you're there to help them and bring them a gift.
You know, Terry, I mean, I think that most of our negative programs are selfish, you know, because we're thinking about ourselves, you know, we're thinking about our problems, we're not thinking about other people. So when you get into that situation where you're thinking about other people, then actually that the act of thinking about somebody else and what could be in it for them, that what this could do for them, actually creates a new program. It actually instigates a program of giving. So weird things happening with my phone here. So shift from who you are and who you have been into something greater through the power of decision. Making up your mind. That's what that's called. Now here's the challenge that I see happening, and I see this happening even with some of my own leaders, okay? You know, if you take the same consciousness that has created nothing but lack and misery and frustration in your life and disappointment, and you take that same consciousness and bring it into Zango, even though Zango is a wonderful vehicle, chances are you're going to end up with the same thing. In other words, you haven't changed. And if you haven't changed, then no matter how good the vehicle is, the vehicle actually becomes an opportunity for you to change yourself, to find something you can believe in, something you can get excited about so that you can move from who you used to be to become who you're capable of becoming. I mean, we all know we have way more potential than we've ever realized. We know we can do more, we can be more, we can experience more. We all are aware of that. But we have these programs that hold us back. So to me, it's a shift that you have to make. It's a shift, an internal shift that says, I'm not going to be that person anymore. I'm going to be something different. This is who I'm going to be now. This is my new dream, and this is my dream, and I'm going to stick with it, right? And so you've got to make a powerful decision. And to close today's webinar, my favorite quote, and this is from Gandhi, and some of you may have seen this before, and he says, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. You know, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. You know, you want a better world, we've got to be it, you know. And I've said this before, you know, you want a more peaceful world, then you be more peaceful, right? You want a more loving world, then you be more loving, you know. And you can complain about the war in Iraq, and you can complain about all of those wars that are over on the other side of the world that are frustrating, and you don't know why we're involved in those kinds of wars. But that same person could be driving down the street, and somebody cuts them off, and they give them the bad sign, right? Or they get angry. That is war on your own streets, you know, that creates war in other parts of the world. So you've got to be the change you wish to see in the world. And I think we have this wonderful opportunity in network marketing to make a positive change in the world. Why is that? Because, and I read this in a book a long time ago, business has the greatest potential to change the world than anything because it brings people together of different races, religions, belief systems, age groups, everything, sexes, all working together for common goals. And when you apply that to network marketing, we're all working together for common goals. And we're all here to help one another, that you cannot gain your dreams without helping other people realize their dreams. You cannot become a 500K in Zango or a 200K in Zango or a 100K in Zango or a premier in Zango without helping other people realize their dreams, without helping other people move away from their old negative programs and create new dreams and new programs, without helping other people become more of who they are, of becoming greater, without helping people with their health, without helping mothers stay at home with their children. You cannot get your dreams. And so we have to be the change we wish to see in the world. That means taking that caring heart out to help other people, to connect people together, to spread this vision, this network, this worldwide network of people that are all working together for a common goal, that are all great goals. More health, more wealth, more time, more freedom. And that's what I love about what it is that we do. And I hope you've enjoyed our webinar. Terry, anything you wanted to add to finish up?
No, I just want to thank you all. It's been a great process for Art and I to be able to pull these together. We'll have another one in a couple of weeks. There's a series, I believe, of 3 or 4 of these. And so thank you all for joining us on your busy Saturday mornings. And make sure you go out and share this wonderful business and products with people.
Okay, everybody, thanks a lot for your attendance. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a bit of a mind twister. You might want to do some contemplation after the call. Write down a list of your programs or your dreams and so on. I'm going to open up the line so we can say goodbye.
Unmuted.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Art. Thank you, Art.